This week, Space Engineers 2 has received 2 new teasers for its next update, and last month there was also another teaser that we haven't covered yet because I didn't think it was enough for one video. But now, especially with this third teaser, which is very juicy, it has a lot of exciting things in it. It's time to cover all of these teasers for the next Space Engineers update, Fieldwork. The first teaser was released last month in the Space Engineers newsletter, which you can sign up to in-game here. As always, there's some text and then there's a video below. The text says, small details can make a big impact, bringing your creations to life just as much as the overall design. That's why we're introducing the set light color action. This feature lets you change the color of your lights dynamically using your toolbar actions. No more need for multiple lights in airlocks to indicate pressurization. But why stop there? In this upcoming update, you'll also be able to use set thruster override and wheel suspension propulsion, to name a few. I assume set light color, thrust override, and wheel propulsion will work very similar to the way that set and execute worked in the previous update, where you could go to your toolbar, add an action, set and execute, and then choose the distance that the piston would move when the action is completed. Now I know that there's one guy furiously typing away in the comments, "But Zero, you could already do this with scripts." First of all, console players can't use scripts. Second of all, you can't use scripts on multiplayer servers. And third of all, this is way easier than that. It's just a single button to press. No need for super complicated scripts to do all your automations. The event controller can do it all for you. The set light color is obviously very exciting, but the set thruster ride is going to be so useful. The other day I was trying to build a hover bike and I was thinking, right, how am I going to do this? I can turn the override on and off, but then it kind of like bobs up and down. The ability to set a different override for different circumstances will be so useful for things like that. The video that's below the teaser is playing here. As you can see, it's inside a ship and it slowly goes through, and then the light changes color to show off the new set light color action. And then we come outside and then we see this shipwreck here. Now before we take a look at this shipwreck, let's go back to this over here. This block over here with the valve and pipes on it is new. It's very similar, or it's the same block that was seen in the recent teaser that showed off this new Prototech block. And it appears, based on this teaser, the current teaser we're looking at, and a future teaser we'll talk about in a minute, that there'll be a new set of cosmetic pipe blocks that will be coming to the game, that appear to have 3 cosmetic pipes on them. No, I don't think they will work like pipes. The 2 different types of conveyors we have in the game currently all have the yellow rims around them and the lights on them to indicate that they are working. We can see the side of these and these don't have that. So I'm 100% sure that these are just cosmetic. And this kind of thing seems to happen every time there's a teaser. People go, "Oh, pipes, new pipes." I'm like, please, they're going to be cosmetic. We know they're going to be cosmetic. They're cosmetic every time, please. If you come back to our wrecked ship, well, 2 ships. You can see there's the red ship here and there's the blue ship behind. And if you come back a little bit, you can see that there is another half of this blue ship that has been severed off over here. So it appears there's been some sort of battle between the red ship and the blue ship. We know that the primary focus of this update is encounters. Previously we thought it was just cargo ships, but one of the teasers we'll be talking about in a minute indicates that it will affect other encounters as well. So whether this is just part of the teaser just to show off the new airlock, that this is a new cargo ship encounter, and maybe the cargo ship is the blue one and then this red ship has attacked it, so we as the player receive the distress signal from the blue ship and then go and help out and maybe get a reward for that. Or maybe this is a new random encounter where both these ships have fought and both ships are disabled and we get to go through and scavenge the remains. The teaser itself is called Pirates Have Breached the Airlock, so I would guess that this red ship is supposed to be a pirate ship, but all that remains to be seen. I definitely am very excited for new PVE stuff. It's one of the big things that Space Engineers really needs. We got the Factorum Prototech encounters in the last update, and those are very good, but they're all really endgame stuff, and we need stuff between the endgame stuff and all the planetary encounters they added last time. So hopefully this update will go a long way to resolving that. This week we received a second teaser called Space Engineers Fieldwork Prototech Fusion Reactor, which confirms that this block from the previous teaser is going to be a fusion reactor as we suspected. We're excited to announce the upcoming update for Space Engineers Fieldwork. This update brings improved PVE encounters, including a full rework of cargo ships and unknown signals. Cargo ships are designed to sit between the simpler unknown signal encounters and the more dangerous endgame Factorum threats, offering a mid-tier challenge and rewards, which is exactly the thing I spoke about a minute ago. This update also introduces the much requested small oxygen tank, a large grid small connector, and a new Prototech fusion reactor waiting to be liberated from the Factorum. And that's not all. Expect a wide range of quality of life improvements. Stay tuned for more detailed as we get closer to release. Okay, first of all, Fieldwork. So, is this a science update? It seems very odd that the main focus of the update is encounters, but the update name is Fieldwork? Are we going to go out and do some science? Look at plants and stuff? Fieldwork refers to going outside and studying something, normally in its natural environment. So are we going to be studying sabroids or fungus? Or does fieldwork more refer to what the contents of the DLC will be? So heavy industry obviously included a lot of heavy industry blocks, but the update itself wasn't really about that. So is it fieldwork because all the blocks that we added are science-based? It'd be very interesting to see either way. Whilst we've already spoke about the rework of cargo ships, the rework of unknown signals is very interesting to me. Unknown signals are those things that spawn in and you get an indication for them on your HUD, and you go over to them, you press the button and you get a skin. So a rework of these is very interesting. I'd be interested to see what a rework of these entails. Maybe they're a bit more complex and you get better rewards? Or maybe unknown signals will take the place of the normal random encounters, of being a threat that is above planetary encounters but below the cargo ships. I look forward to finding out. The actual video of the teaser shows a breakdown of the Prototech fusion reactor, showing you the block, spinning it around, and then dismantling it into pieces. Now, I don't think these pieces actually mean anything. I think it's just more of the design process where when the block is designed, they go, well, the block needs to have this, 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 and this. But I do know that one of these things has got people speculating on what this fusion reactor actually does. So we'll go through them anyway. So starting in the top left, we have the deuterium refinery, which is the one that's got people talking. The vacuum system, the gyrotron. No way is a gyrotron a real thing. No way. Who came up with the name gyrotron? It uses cyclotron resonance. Okay, scientists clearly have too much fun. The fuel injector, the power supply, the thermoelectric generator, the reaction chamber, and the cryo cooling system. So, when the first teaser for this released, one of the big speculations for this was what fuel is it going to use? Some people have suggested that it might need a new type of fuel. Other people have suggested that it's going to require both uranium and ice to generate power. And myself, I think it's going to require one or the other. Even if that doesn't make scientific sense, it's either going to require uranium or ice to generate power. The reason I don't think it's going to require its own unique fuel is that this is a Prototech block gained through a global encounter, and it wouldn't make much sense from a gameplay perspective for it to have its own fuel considering its rarity. I think the fact that it has a deuterium refinery built into it, and deuterium is heavy water, which is used in nuclear reactions, it would make sense that this machine accepts ice or hydrogen or oxygen or whatever, and then just converts that straight into power, just cutting out the deuterium middleman. But I could see a case where it just accepts uranium, as effectively this thing is supposed to be an upgraded reactor. So from a gameplay perspective, it would make sense if it took the same fuel as the block it's upgraded from, even if that's not scientifically accurate. Teaser number 3 was also released this week, and it is called Space Engineers Fieldwork Teaser, and there's a lot to go through in this one. The teaser begins at this facility here, which is the ROS Research Outpost 0-4, and also Dog. The ROS are a very important faction in Space Engineers lore. They are the red team from all the teasers, they are involved in every single scenario in the game, and they are the definition of when you're in a war crime competition and your opponent is the ROS. Some of you may be aware that I've been working on a lore video for Space Engineers to compile all the game's lore into one place. So if you want to hear about the ROS's exploits and everything else we know about the lore of this game, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to see that when it drops. Anyway, back to this. This base here, I've seen it before. It's scarred into my memory. This is Frostbite. It's not a 100% match, which leads me to believe that they've moved assets around for this teaser. But you see these two little orange pillars here. Those are the same pillars over here. And then this fence made out of unwelded column blocks is next to it here. This building with the red tower and the two pillars over here is definitely this building here. It's even got the hole in the wall in the same place. So it definitely looks like they've reused these assets to create this teaser. In fact, if we come to the next shot, this fuel depot on the right is the same one here. Obviously there is a vehicle in the way, I will move that. But you can see it's 100% the same one. And you see this hole on the side of the building? That's this hole here. It's the exact same building. In fact, Frostbite is so burned into my brain, I'm pretty sure there's a turret here. Yeah, I know this map. It's like PTSD in the back of my brain. The first shot of this teaser that goes inside this base is very interesting, as it shows a heck of a lot of new blocks. For starters, on the left, you can see that there's this desk here that has a monitor and keyboard here, very reminiscent of the captain's desk from the last update. There's some test tubes here, and there's some sort of box over here. If we come to the top, there's another block here that has a monitor on it, and then some sort of centrifuge or something like that over here. It's very similar to the lab equipment block, but a lot of the details are different, so it's definitely not the same block. Over here we have some sort of corner desk, and I've got no idea what this is. Oh wait, there's a microscope here, I think. It's obscured by the railings, but it definitely looks like the top of a microscope here. And there's test tubes here and here. I'm not really sure what this is in the middle, but it's definitely a new block, 100%. And over here we have a large grid sink block. In the last update, we got a small grid sink block, so it appears that this new update will come with a large grid version of that. To the right of our sinks, we have some more of our 3 pipe blocks. So we have a straight one that has 3 pipes going along, then we have a curved one over here that has the 3 pipes going at an angle, and then we have them going up and around at a different angle here. Again, I 100% think that these pipes are cosmetic. There is absolutely nothing to indicate that they'll be functional, as the conveyor system in the game has not been changed since it was added, and I see no reason why they would change it now. However, next to these pipes, there is another new block, and I'm not really sure what this is. You can see it's like a circular block, and it has these pillars coming out of it, and I'm guessing it goes down, but it kind of like disappears here. I think we get a better angle of this in a second if it is the same block, so rather than speculating now, we'll come back to this in a second. The next shot shows a close-up of this new desk block, where you can see it's got this monitor on it with the weird arm. I don't think I've ever seen a monitor with an arm like this, but it is the future, so maybe this is all the rage now. And behind the chair, we have a sign which says contaminants breach, offline. And I'm thinking that this sign is this one here, and the text has been changed on it. Especially because of the position of this window here. In fact, can I get the same angle? You can see I've got the window here, and then I've got the grating above, and then the sign is there as well. I definitely think this room here has been remodeled for this teaser. One thing that I nearly missed is this over here. This appears to be a new large grid oxygen tank. You can see that it has O2 written down here, and it looks very reminiscent of the industrial hydrogen tank, except obviously only a small block in size. Or actually, I think it's 2 blocks wide, as it appears to directly connect to the block next to it. There's not really a better angle of this, so this is all we've got for now. Also, before we move on, dog. One of the teasers for the new update for Space Engineers was bubbles, and here we have bubbles. We appear to be in some sort of tank. And you know what that means, guys? Water, finally added to Space Engineers, again. This is very similar to the fish tank, except there's no fish in it, so I'm going to assume it's some sort of new cosmetic block. But I'm not really sure what it does other than having bubbly water in it. Maybe it's got some sort of like specimen in it, like a baby saberoid. That's probably overthinking it, let's be honest. Over here, you can see we've got some test tubes, and I'm guessing this is what I thought was a microscope before, which it definitely appears to be a microscope. So I'm guessing this is what the fieldwork part of the update is. A bunch of cosmetic blocks for doing science TM. It'd be interesting to see what other kind of sciencey blocks are added in this update as well. If I come to this angle here, it's definitely this room, isn't it? It's definitely here. They've taken the turret out, obviously, but the light is in the same place. That contaminant breach sign is definitely the elevator access sign. The windows on the wall are in the same position. 100% this room. I've done it again. Zero speciality, finding exactly where teasers are filmed. That's only the 3rd time I've done it, not to pat myself on the back or anything. Because this is reusing frostbite assets, it'll be interesting to see if this contaminant breach sign actually means anything. Are they reusing frostbite assets for a planetary encounter? Like, does this base spawn in and we can explore it and maybe find out what the contaminant breach is? Or are they just using it to show off the new science blocks? I don't know, but what I do know, dog. The next shot is this. Oh my, what is this? Glass tube, energy running through it? What the heck is this supposed to be? We already have a Prototech battery, so it's not that. And we already know that we're getting a Prototech Reactor in this update, so it's not that. So what's this? What's this, Keen? I wasn't expecting this. Maybe it's just something cosmetic. It is a sciencey update. Maybe this just has cosmetic lightning in it to show that you're doing some sort of experiment. But it's so different. It's so odd. I'm like racking my brains of what this could be. Science! It's just science, guys. In the next shot, we get a better look at our sciencey desks that were previously obscured by the catwalk. This over here definitely appears to be a centrifuge now. So there's like a computer and there's like a centrifuge next to it. What's this block here? It's so difficult to tell from this angle. There's a control panel here. It probably is something we already have, but I just don't recognize it at this angle. I recognize this bit on the side here, this circular bit. I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on it. This over here appears to be our bubbles block from before. You can see the bubbles coming up here. Again, from this angle, it's not really clear what it's supposed to be. Bubble block. That's what I'm going to call it. Bubble block. You can see our corner desk here, and as I thought, it has a microscope on it. But what's this here? Like a checkered pattern? What do they call that? It's like some sort of targeting thing? I don't know. Like you twist the dials and it moves about on the grid? I don't know. It's going to be cosmetic only, but I kind of want to know what this is. And then obviously we have the sink, which I mentioned previously. That's an easy one. I can tell you that that's a sink. It's when they've got weird things like this on them that I'm not sure. The final shot of the teaser gives us a better look at the lab blocks over here. So you can see that they've got the test tubes and they've got the microscope. And I'm sure they've got some other sciencey things on the desk. Here's our little thing with the cross on it. I don't know what this is. I feel like I should know. It's in my brain somewhere. I should know what that's called. I just can't work it out. As we come forward, on the left and on the right, there is another new block. And this appears to have glass canisters in it. I wonder, because you've got these storage barrels over here, are these like barrels for oxygen or hydrogen? But I don't really know how that would work because these barrels don't connect to conveyors. So if these were a gas version of that, I guess you'd have to fill them up with oxygen or hydrogen by putting bottles in them. That seems very backwards. They're definitely designed to be some sort of cosmetic storage, but from these angles, difficult to work out. This one has a control panel or something here. It kind of looks like a sensor actually, but not really sure what I'm supposed to glean from this. Science! And also, dog. And also, it must have taken them ages to get the perfect shot for the dog to howl at the exact right time. Incredible commitment. So, now that we know that the name of the next update is Fieldwork, and we've had an official teaser for it, I'm guessing it's not far away. I'd probably give it 2 weeks at most. So, if you want to keep up to date with future teasers and what is coming in this update, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel, as we will definitely be covering it here. And also, if you want to go the extra mile and support this channel, you can do so by clicking the join button below the video.